All right, we're back out here with Gasra, and this is our third day with him, and we're going through the colt starting with him. So we're going to work on today all of the things that we've done so far in the past 2 days. We're just going to kind of recap all that, and you get to see how he's progressing, how I would go about all of this. So this kind of gives you an idea of, you know, if you were here with me, what do I do day by day here? And so what I'm going to go into is right into some accept the human with him and just see where he's at. So come in, rub on him, and you know, this is the third day, and he's however, wherever he's at, that's where he's at, and I'm just going to progress with him at the speed that he's ready. So he's pretty comfortable with everything, so I can just move right along with him. Now, not every horse is going to go this quickly where you can do this quickly on the third day, and that's okay. Do it at the speed that your horse is ready for. See, he's just like, whatever. So accepting the human, you know, what took a minute or so. And that's what we're looking for, is when you get your horse to this point, you really don't need to do it anymore. He's in good shape. So this would be the last day I would do accept the human with him. And then I could just come right out and go into the next thing that I need to do, which is going to be accept the saddle. So we're going to see where he's at with that. So I've got the saddle up on the rail over there. I'm just going to take him over and offer it to him. And allow him to check that out. And he's okay with it. So when you do these different aspects of colt starting, you want to look for 3 days where your horse is in a nice relaxed place. And when you can get 3 days of that, then you know your horse is in pretty good shape and you don't have to go through all of these elements anymore. So like accept this human, you saw how quickly he picked that up. So you don't need to keep going over that every day. Here he's, you know, not bothered by the pad at all. So we can just move right along. Grab the saddle. And again, I'm going to go through the saddling, which is I get in rhythm with the pad, and I'm going to throw it up there 3 times. And then the 4th time is I'm just going to take the saddle, swing it right up, set it down, let my girth down, check to make sure it's the right length, and then step across in front of him. He's kind of checking the saddle out, hanging there. And now I keep my feet facing backwards towards his tail. I reach under with the back of my inside hand here. Grab the girth, bring it up. Take my cinch, stick it through. Pull it. I don't drop the girth at all. Stick it through again. And then I can cinch it up. So I'm going to cinch it snug, just because I may not get back to it. You know, I think he's going to be okay, but you never know. Sometimes they, as soon as you move them, they take off, move around. So you want to make sure your saddle is secure enough so it doesn't roll off. You can see how he is really just handling this very nicely, and that's what we're looking for, is that it's like he's been saddled 100 times before, and that's what we're looking for. Okay, so now I'm actually just going to leave the halter on him. You could take it off again, but just for the sake of the video here, I'm just going to leave it on, ask him to move around, see what he thinks of having the saddle on. Because actually I think this is the second day of having the saddle, so we want to make sure that he's okay with it. Just because he was okay with it yesterday doesn't mean he's going to be okay with it here today. I'm just using my life, saying let's go up and forward, backing that up with the tail of my rope, saying let's go. And then I can go in, disengage that hind, ask the front to come through, and send him off this way. So I'm building, or I'm preparing him for being lunged. Because, in the next sessions here, we're going to go into how to work your horse on the lunge and develop the horse from the ground. Right now we're just checking him out, seeing how he can handle the saddle. I'm going to ask him up to a trot. Not a big deal. Disengage that hind, bring him back to me. Pretty nice with that. So I'm going to go right into then putting the rope on him. So you really get to see how quickly this is going with a horse that handles everything. Nothing really seems to bother him. So I go hook the rope over the horn, and then I can play with this rope. So I can use this as a driving aid, and what determines it as a driving aid is my intent. If my intent's up, this rope means to move off of it. If my intent is down, or I'm not asking anything of this rope, he's just to do what he was doing. So like he's just walking here, so that's what I want him to just keep doing. Because I'm just playing with the rope, I'm not asking anything of him. He's handling that pretty good. And then ask him up. So now I throw an intent down the rope to say, step up to a trot. And then once he's going, I don't have any intent in the rope, and I can play with it. And throw it around and see, is he okay with all of that? And not a big deal. And what I like is he's maintaining the trot much better today than he did yesterday. He's staying in the gait that I'm asking. Step off, and then I can send him off the other direction. This is good. He's like, ooh, a little different in this eye. So I'm just going to play with the rope then. We have a little bit of expression from him. It's kind of nice to see. He's been accepting all of this so nicely. I'm just going to play with the rope. See, what's he think of this? Now, if he gets bothered, the more he gets bothered, the more I keep playing until he actually relaxes and comes down from it. And now I'm going to pick up and disengage and ask him to come back to me. So there was a little bit of something in there on this side. So I'll just take the rope off the saddle horn and then put it around my stirrup. And we'll go back and do this again. So I'm going to play with that. It's almost more like he's just a little bit annoyed with it than anything. He's not really scared of it. So I just keep it going until he gives me a softer look in his eye. That's what I'd like to see. You know, if he soften his lips a little bit, just make some kind of change, and then I'll let him have it. There. And what was interesting is he actually started looking around just before he broke to a walk, and you could see the change was coming. So now he's like, oh, whatever. So I'm just going to do it one more time, ask him off. So I throw intent down the rope, say step out and around, and then going into playing with it. Throw the rope over, send him off the other way by bringing up my intent, getting a picture in my mind of what it is I want. Now, I'm going to pick up and drop that stirrup, get him okay with seeing me on one side and seeing something flopping around on the other side. And that's really no big deal for him. So he's doing very well with all of this. So you get the idea. You would do the other side, but just for the sake of the video here, don't want to bore you with going over all of that on the video. But you would do that on the other side, and I'm going to do it here while we shut the video off, and then we'll go into the next thing.